Today we're going to look at subtracting fractions. We're going to start with 1 minus 5/8. The first thing we need to ask ourselves is, do we have the same units? Our units are our eighths in this problem and our ones. We've got 5/8 and we've got 1, 1. This is a whole number. Those are not the same. So the first thing I want to do then is to rename them so they have the same unit. In this case, I'm going to take my 1 and I'm going to rename that into eighths. So I have to think, how many eighths are in one whole? And I know that there are 8 eighths in one whole. So my problem now looks like 8/8 minus 5/8. So I set that up on a number line down here. I have a number line that starts at 0 and goes to 1, or 8/8, which are equivalent. I'm going to start at 8/8 and I'm going to jump back 5/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. Okay, so I'm going to show what I just did. I'm showing that I started at 5/8 and I jumped back and landed here. Now I can see, what did I land at? 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So I landed at 3/8. So 1 minus 5/8 equals 3/8. So the only thing that we have to really make sure we remember is that we're converting our one whole into eighths. We're doing eighths because that's our unit for 5/8. Over here, we're going to do 1 and 3/8 minus 7/8. Well, I know 1 and 3/8 is bigger than one whole. So I'm going to rename this by taking out the whole. There are 8/8 and one whole. So 1 and 3/8 has 8/8 and 3/8. And I'm going to rename that as a fraction greater than 1. So I can say 8/8 plus 3/8 is 8/8, 9/8, 10/8, 11/8. So we're going to do 11/8 minus 7/8. So I'm going to model this in two ways. I'm going to model this first with a tape diagram and then with a number line. So for a tape diagram, I went ahead and I made my one whole. And you can see that by the bracket at the top. And I cut that whole into 8 pieces to represent our 8/8. And then I needed an extra 3/8 to represent our 3/8. So here they are right here. 1, 2, 3 extra. So here is 8/8 or one whole. And then all together we have 1 and 3/8 or 11/8. This is also 11/8. Now I'm going to get rid of 7/8. So I'm going to just cross them out. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, and 7/8. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4/8 left. So 11/8 minus 7/8 equals 4/8. In the original problem, 1 and 3/8 minus 7/8 equals 4/8. So again, I made my tape diagram, I made my whole, cut it into 8 pieces, added 3 more 8s, and then I just crossed out the 7/8 I wanted to get rid of. On a number line, it's going to look no different than we started over here. I have my 1 and 3/8, which is equivalent to 11/8. Okay. And I'm going to start there, and I'm going to jump back 7/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. Okay, show that jump. I like to draw my arrow to show which direction I went, and I subtracted 7/8, and I landed at 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and 4/8. So there are 2 different ways to subtract using mixed numbers, a whole number and a fraction. Do it using the tape diagram, or you can do it using a number line. And I showed you how to do it using a number line when we've got a whole number minus a fraction. Hopefully that helps.